Hello everyone. So today we are going to see how we can create pods, how we can scale Kubernetes pod with the help of local Kubernetes cluster called Minikube. So let's start. Now I'll open my Linux. So I'll go ahead and check if Docker and Kubernetes is installed on my local machine or not. So just to make sure everything is up and running, we'll start the Docker service by sudo service docker start, and we'll go ahead and check the status of Docker. If you're not aware how to install Docker on your system, just comment below and we'll upload a video for that also. Right, so let me go ahead and clean up my existing resources, and just to make sure everything is from initial setup, from initial point. All right. So we'll do docker ps, and we see no containers are running. Now, to be able to start up a local Minikube cluster, your system should have Docker installed, and you will need to have Minikube installed. What you'll just run the command minikube start and give it a few minutes. After a while, it will start the local Minikube cluster on your local machine, and then you will be able to interact with kubectl commands with that local Minikube cluster to perform several Kubernetes commands like creating pods, creating service, creating ingresses. So the server is up and running. Now we can see with the help of docker ps, this is a local Minikube cluster, Kubernetes. Right, so now we'll first try to create the pods using Kubernetes dashboard. Right, so we'll go ahead and type Minikube dashboard like this way, Minikube dashboard. It will open a proxy to the Minikube's dashboard running in the Docker container, and we'll go ahead and open this URL in the browser. Just go ahead and copy it, right? So let me copy this URL. Go ahead and open it. So this is Kubernetes proxy server. Usually we don't get to see this in cloud Kubernetes versions, but when running this Minikube local cluster, we can check it out here. So I'm deleting existing resources just to make sure we start fresh. So the first thing, to be able to create the pods, we need to know about deployments, right? So we have deleted everything. We'll go into the deployment. We'll click on plus icon. Now there are three options to deploy pods. We're interested in create from form, and we'll give the name to the deployment. It's nginx. We'll give the container name to nginx. So basically it pulls the container image from some repository that you can configure. So currently by default it picks from open repos. So it was able to find the nginx, and then once you will go to the deployment, you'll see a lot of options. So currently pod status 1, and when you'll go into the pods, you'll see the pod is up and running. I'll open another instance of my Linux. Let me get the things right. Right, so now we'll try to get the pods from here. kubectl clients, kubectl get pods. So by default it uses default namespace. Currently I don't have custom namespace for that, so I'm not specifying -n parameter. Right, so you can see the deployment and the pods. So a deployment is just basically a scheduler which schedules the deployments of pods. So there we go, we have our pods. Now we'll go ahead and try to create the deployments using kubectl commands. Right, so let's go ahead and create the pods using kubectl commands. So let me first try to get the syntax. So in case if you're stuck around by creating some resources, any Kubernetes resources. Now when we are talking about resources, it's nothing with the Kubernetes objects, just service, either deployments, ingress, or pods. Just give me a moment. Now I'll go ahead and try to create the deployment from CLI. I first deleted the existing ones, so now you can see there are no existing deployments. Right, so I'll go ahead and create one. So there are no pods, no deployments. We'll type kubectl, create deployments. So once you're stuck around about the syntaxes of any Kubernetes resources, you can always do kubectl explain and then resource name and then help. So you can just let me try this. So I think I have a typo here. Kubectl explain. Okay. Let me get this. Explain deployments. So we have typed kubectl explain deployment. Now it shows us what all a deployment manifest contains. So this is something when we'll get benefit while creating the manifest file like this one. So you can see it has the API version parameters, kind. We'll explain that in another video, right? Because we don't want to make this long session. So we'll again try to create the deployment using CLI. So how this works, kubectl create deployment and then deployment name, then image, and then I mistyped it. Kubectl create deployments name type else. So we'll go ahead and create the pods from here. So let me first delete. Right, so this is the command kubectl create deployment name hyphen image is equal to image name, and then the port parameter, that port we want to expose for this pod. Right, so we'll go ahead and check it out. So you can see deployments nginx is created and the pods is also created. Now we'll go ahead and see how to scale the Kubernetes deployments. So we'll click on scale and we'll just increase the number to the desired number of pods that we want. Increase it 1 to 3. So that's how easy it is. You can see 2 pods are in creating status. Now if you'll type kubectl get pods, you'll see 3 pods up and running. Right. So if you can do the same with the command line. So you can do kubectl scale deployment name, then the deployment. So kubectl scale deployment, and then deployment name is nginx, and then replicas is equal to number of pods that you want. So you can again type get pods, and you can see the containers are being created. All right, so we have our all 6 containers up and running. So that's how we can scale up, scale down using Kubernetes client. So okay, So we'll go ahead and try to create the deployments using manifest file. I have it created already. Right, so I'll go into the folder where I have the manifest files. I'll explain the manifest file in separate video so that you can get the idea. So comment below if you want the video for the same. So you just have to type kubectl apply and then -f parameter for file location and then provide the file. So cleaned up the resources. So this is how the manifest file looks like. It contains API version, metadata, and spec parameter, which contains selector, replicas. It's same as the number of pods you want. And then strategy, the type of updates that we want to put. And then this is the main part, containers. Specify the container name, specify image, and the rest of the things like resources. So I'll go ahead and type kubectl apply -f and then the file name nginx deployment.yml. You can see the command printed deployed. We'll go ahead and check it out. kubectl get deployments, kubectl get pods. Right, so it's up and running. Now, the same way we can delete the deployments by passing the file name. Right, so if you'll check, so that's it for the video. We'll meet again.